I wear pants. Also, I wear shirts. And occasionally I wear socks under my shoes. If you're like me, you do those things too. Also, if you're like me, you have a bajillion kids and they wear all of those things too, except for the socks for some reason. Some of them just don't do that. But regardless, you and your kids are wearing all these clothes all the time, and then what happens to them? You wash, you dry, you fold, and then you put it somewhere. Do you see what I'm getting at? I'm running out of somewheres. So, I'm gonna build more somewheres. This isn't one of those videos where you're dealing with like a super professional builder person who knows what they're doing. What you're dealing with is me, and I have something that they don't have. A pile of scrap wood and a can-do attitude. Also ingenuity. Ingenuity is important, so try and have that if you can. Okay, so 4 boards. I cut 4 2x4s to 56 inches, and I cut 8 2x2s to 27 inches. I've gone through and marked on these 2x4s at every 10 3/4 inches, and then at every 14 inches. And then the next mark starts at the top of the 14 inches, 10 3/4 to 14, and so on all the way down. So then the 2x2s, I'm putting just below the 10 3/4 inch marks. So I'll skip the 14, go to the next 10 3/4 mark. First, make sure these are square. So this is going to be my first woodworking 3D printing combination project, and I'm really excited about it because it opens up a whole new door of creativity that I haven't had until now. And I think it's going to turn out really cool. Alright, so I'm going to drill pilot holes, and then I'll be attaching these directly to the 2x4s. Okay. It's one side down. Now it's going to be a little wobbly, like I could bend this whole thing if I wanted to, because it has one screw on each side, and that's fine. It will be tightened up when I attach everything together. This is just to get us started here. All right. Same as last one. 10 3/4 and 14. Then measure from the 14, 10 3/4, 14. Just keep doing that. Rightio. And now I'm going to take the whole thing out back and sand it down before I assemble because I don't want to sand in here, obviously. Okay, so after I got it all sanded, I brought it inside and I attached the two sides to each other. Now, it's not done, not even close, but it's starting to look like a structure at least. Now, it still has a lot of wiggle this way. I got to put the top on, I got to put the side on, and that is what's going to keep it from doing this. So, I'm getting there. But now I got to go take a few more measurements, and then I got to warm up my tea. So, be back in a minute. Okay, so for the top, I took a 1x6 and I cut it into 27-inch long pieces. And I cut 4 of them. I sanded them, and now I'm going to attach them up here. First, I'm going to make sure that it is square and that they're flush on the front. I don't care so much about the back. And then as I attach them, they will straighten out, and it'll pull all of this tight. All right, let's see. Oh yeah. Oh, it's on, half of it's on a carpet right now, so it's kind of much better. Okay, I'm gonna go get the other baskets, and then I'm going to load some things up into the 3D printer. Obviously, I have to wait for my dog's stuff to get done. It's got 1 hour left. So now's a good time for me to get my prints ready and get the other baskets. And I'll see you in a minute. All right, I am proud to announce that the laundry tower is finally done. And I have more somewheres for all my laundry to go. So we've got 4 baskets because I have 4 children. So it makes it really easy. When I'm doing laundry, I can just put each kid's stuff in their own basket. Or my 2 youngest who share a room can have 1 basket. My husband and I can have 1 basket. And then my older 2 kids can have their own basket. So that 1 basket goes to each bedroom. Then we've got extra space on top for the detergents, which we tend to make our own detergent. We do have OxyClean for the really difficult stains, and we also have the Lysol sanitizer, which is just because the whole family had the flu recently, and I wanted to really make sure it was gone. So most of the time, our detergent comes out of these. This right here, we just refill with our own liquid detergent mix. We've got the extra ingredients for making the mix in the back here. And then we've got, this side is my favorite side. So we've got the scissors for when I have a new item, I gotta cut tags off. The golf area, 3D printed. I've got my club right here, and that's on just a little piece of
PVC. I cut a notch in it. Right there. Attached it. And then I just put the club. Ooh, that was loud, sorry. Put the club on there, push it in. It's done and not gonna get in the way of the baskets when they're coming out. I've got 3D printed golf ball holder. My family, when they saw this, they were like, why do you have all this golfing stuff here? It's very simple. I have kind of a perfect rug down here for it. Sometimes you come down to do the laundry and the stuff in the dryer is like that close to done, but it's really not done yet. So you got to restart it for a few minutes, right? And when that happens, I can go back upstairs and get distracted and completely forget about it. Or I can give it 5 minutes to fluff while I am bored here. And so if I'm bored and I've got this whole golf setup right here, obviously I've got something to do to entertain me until the stuff is dry. Now, for the record, I am a terrible golfer. Terrible. I'm good at Mario Golf on the Nintendo Switch, but real golf in real life with like real golf clubs and stuff, not my strong suit. However, I like putt-putt. And now that I have this set up, I might become a fantastic golfer, and we just don't know. There's only one way to find out. Now, I've got on this side the dryer balls, a tiny little dumpster, 3D printed, of course, and that is to hold lint. I just emptied it, but I can fit a ton of lint in here because, you know, it compacts. Just shove it in there. That way I don't have to go to the trash can every single time. Just take the lint right here by the dryer. Perfect. I also 3D printed this tiny little laundry basket, which perfectly matches our laundry baskets. And that's for the change I find in the dryer. And how adorable is that? Now, as far as this, I put diagonal brace. These are 2x2s on each side. I just used what I had left over. So it doesn't go all the way top to bottom. It goes almost all the way. Did the same thing on the other side, but opposite. See, this one goes in this direction. And it really shored it up, like it's sturdy, right? The back has one as well. If you look back there, that way it doesn't have any play in this direction, other than like if I make the whole cart, because you know it's tall, shake, but it's very sturdy. So altogether, that was a few 2x4s and like 4 2x2s, 4 laundry baskets. Those are on Walmart's website. They're $10, and some 3D printing. I used HSW, the honeycomb storage wall, for all of these, and then these prints were all on I think they were all on Maker's World, but I will link the prints down below so people can find them if you're interested. The golf ones were my favorite, and that was not something I was originally planning on doing. I just had my golf club down here, and I thought that makes a lot of sense. Also, I have some hooks in the back for, these are just for stirring when we make our mixes. And that way they're here, out of the way, but always know where they're at. I also printed this so that when I make the liquid mix, I can just easily put it in the little cup thing, and it's always right there. So all in all, if you have a 3D printer and like minimal woodworking skills, you too can have so much more space available when you're doing laundry. So if you run out of space to put stuff like I do, this is the way to go. And I think it turned out great. So thanks for watching. If you want to see some other random video where I make something totally weird, follow along.